Hey YouTube, Qui MANIÈRE.
I am Shah.
And I'm Ju. Together we are
Shah and Ju. Welcome back to our channel. So today we have a surprise. We are making Gateaux Piment. Gateaux Piment is an all-time favorite. I like it, my mom likes it, my dad likes it, Ju likes it. I've made it a couple times here in Canada before we went to Mauritius to eat it, remember?
True, we've had it actually quite a few times before trying it out at the street food stall in Mauritius. And I don't know any Mauritian that doesn't love Gateaux Piment. You can have it at any time of day for breakfast or as an afternoon snack. It's a deep fried ball that's made from yellow split peas and has herbs as well as the chili flakes inside that give it its name. So it translates to chili cake.
So before we get into cooking, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave your notification bell on at all times so you could get more fun recipes like this. Let's get into it!
Lunes, yo me llamo Tarzán y la gente me dice ¿cómo es?
El rey de la selva.
Jane es perfecta gracias a sus raíces. ¿Sabes cómo es?
El rey de la selva.
Ando con mis leones cazando los ciervos. ¿Cómo es?
El rey de la selva.
Yo soy defecto de leones a cerdo. ¿Cómo es?
El rey de la selva.
Take all your yellow split peas, put them in a bowl, and pour all the water over it. We are going to soak this overnight. You don't necessarily need to cover it. Just make sure everything is soaked properly. You don't need to put it in the fridge. It needs to soak on the counter overnight. If you put it in the fridge, it's going to be very difficult to grind the day when you're actually grinding them and you need them.
See you tomorrow, little yellow split peas.
Bye. Ingredients for Gateaux Piment. Yellow split peas that you have previously soaked. We are going to drain them and blend them. Watercress, green onions, baking powder, cumin seeds, chili flakes, and salt. We are going to start by straining our yellow split peas over a bowl. You want to save some of that water that you soaked the peas in. It makes it easier to blend it. You won't necessarily need all of it, but it just makes it a little smoother. Let this strain for a few minutes. In the meantime, we are going to go and cut the vegetables. You want to chop your green onions, but not too fine. You still want a little texture. We are going to chop our watercress. Adding watercress in Gateaux Piment is a very grandma trick. I learned it from a guy I was working with when I just started. He retired about a month after, so he was kind of pretty old already. So he taught me the trick about adding watercress in the Gateaux Piment. Chef Shah's top tip. For some extra zing in your Gateaux Piment, add a bunch of curry leaves. Chopped, preferably. I'm going to blend the yellow peas. I'm going to do so little by little and grind it as fine as possible. Mind you, it's not going to be a soft paste, it's still going to be gritty. So if you're having trouble blending it, add some of that water that we strained. So let me just do that. So this is just going to go Now that the peas are blended, we are going to add the rest of the ingredients. As you can see, I made it as smooth as possible. Try to use as less water as possible because now that they have soaked, they absorbed a lot of water. As you can see, it's still a little gritty. It's not a really smooth paste, it's really still gritty, and there's still like pieces of whole peas in my mixture. So we are going to start by adding the green onions, the watercress, and our curry leaves. We want to mix in all our greens before we add anything else. Just because the greens have a little water in them, and your peas are gonna absorb some of that water as well. Once you've mixed in your greens, now it's time to add the spices. We are going to add the chili flakes, which gives the Gato Pima its name, which is mostly chili cake. You want a good dose of chili flakes in there, and you want a good dose of cumin seeds. Some people will toast the cumin seeds, but you don't want to toast those because you're going to fry them anyways, and they're going to develop the flavor when they're fried. And you want to mix all that in. Once again, once you've mixed everything in, now it's time to add the salt. I would recommend adding a little salt and then tasting it, even if it's raw, and find out the good amount of salt that works for you and then season it accordingly. You want to put the baking powder in last because it's gonna expand the dough. So we're going to put the baking powder just before we fry it. Let me give this a taste. I think it's pretty good. So I'm gonna stick with that amount.
And the baking powder, so it's pretty much so that the balls become fluffy from the inside?
The greens is also gonna help the balls be fluffy and really crunchy. The baking powder is just going to make it expand a little more because this chickpeas is very dense, right? Mm-hmm. So as you can see, it's very dense. It has a lot of items in it. So the baking powder is just gonna make it stay airy. The recipe is usually for 4 people. Because there's only me and Ju, I put half away. Meal prep hack, if you want to make Gato Pima but you don't want to go through the hassle of making the whole process, this is when you freeze it before adding the baking powder. We are going to add the baking powder. You can see I'm only taking half of it. And you want to mix that in. If you buy them at grandma stalls, they usually don't have any particular shape. They're just dropped in the oil. But if you buy them at people that make them all the time, they're gonna have a round shape or ball. They're gonna be somewhat all similar. But we're gonna make them grandma style today. Make sure everything is mixed properly. That baking powder is just gonna help it fluff up a little. You don't wanna wait too long before you start deep frying it. That's why I recommend that you put your baking powder only before you go and deep fry it. Let's start frying. If you want to know if your oil is ready, take a chopstick, put it in your oil, and touch the bottom. If it starts bubbling right away, you know your oil is good to go. I'm gonna give that a stir, and I'm gonna start putting the Gato Piment in. Like I said, with your hands, you don't have to do any particular size. Just drop them in slowly, don't burn yourself though. As you can see, the oil is ready, it starts to fry right away.
I'm having a recap of our taro balls.
Use your chopstick to prevent them from sticking together and give them a gentle stir. You will see that we start to color, they already start to look a little deeper yellow color. Once your Gato Piment are golden brown and they smell really good, take them out, drain them for a few seconds, and then put them in a bowl lined with paper towel. They look so crunchy. Give them a few minutes, a few minutes at least before you eat them. They will be crunchier, just like the gâteaux à huit. You want to make sure they drain properly before you put them on the paper towel. This will give time for your oil to warm up again so you can put new Gato Pima in.
So while Shah is finishing up the second batch of Gateaux Piment, Shah, where was that again where we had the Gateaux Piment in Mauritius?
So there's a famous place in Rosehill. They send it in front of Cathedral. So if you go to Mauritius, in front of Cathedral in Mauritius.
In front of.
In Rosehill, this is where you're going to find it. So yeah, I would highly recommend it. So when we bought it, my mom bought like, I don't know, maybe 50 pieces. And we had to drive somewhere. It was maybe a 10-minute drive, not even. By the time we got there, I had eaten 20 of them. Not even like eat one and appreciate it. It's like eat one and then give me one. I'm already grabbing another one to eat. It was so good.
It's true. And of course, as moms are, she wouldn't let us pay. You have to always force yourself onto parents to pay for it.
The Gato Pima is ready for plating. You want to see what it looks like inside?
Yes, please.
So fluffy and green. It smells so aromatic with the cumin being so
Crispy, crunchy.
Let's go plate it and taste it. Et voila! Gato Pima is ready. Let's go taste it. Gato Pima is ready. Since I cooked them, I'll let you judge them. I'm gonna pour some tea in the meantime.
Let me try my first one. I'll give you my cup as well. It's super crunchy, crispy on the outside. The curry leaves for Chef Shah's top tip were actually a really nice addition. Gives you that little bit of extra kick of flavor. Of course, the freshness of the herbs and just the right amount of spice, actually. I'm loving it. And I love they're so cute, like bite size and grandma style, of course.
Thank you. Purists will say that Gato Pima does not need a sauce, but how I like them, so I actually take my bread, I put some really nice butter. You can put some salt if you want at this point on your butter. Some people like it this way, but I don't. So what I do next, I actually just crumble the Gato Piment on top. I just break them in half actually. And I don't know if that's what Ju's gonna do, but she has a piece of bread too.
I've watched you do it before, so I have kind of an idea how this is gonna go.
This is also a very Mauritian breakfast kind of deal.
Get your proteins in for the day.
Yeah, people also put cheese. There's a cheese variation, which is really good. And then once all your Gato Pima is inside, you press it down.
Squish it hard.
And that's the way to go. And the last trick is to dunk it in your tea and then eat it. It's beautiful, trust me.
We are drinking Bois Chéri tea, which is also Mauritian tea. We've actually been there, so how is it?
It is so good.
Loving it?
Mm-hmm. It's the best breakfast ever for now.
I'm gonna squish mine down as well. I'm gonna give that a try with the tea together as well.
Yeah, the curry leaves are really fragrant. Tastes really good. I think I'm gonna keep on eating this.
I have a feeling we need to separate that in half to actually dunk it properly.
So if you enjoyed this video today, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to our channel, don't forget to leave your notification bell on at all times so you could get more fun recipes like this.
Thank you so much for watching today. Tschüss, and until next time.
Gotta work on myself, 'cause I'm falling apart.